Especially as entrepreneurs, like there is no boss or there is no like a leader to us that is going to be there holding our hand to help you to lead your company to success. Maybe you already are taking the right actions and doing the right thing, but that's not giving you the results that you want. I really want to highlight one big thing. The biggest thing that we usually forget is the mindset part. The millionaire mindset. I can give you any strategy in the world, but if you don't believe that it's possible to actually make that work, it's not going to work. So the biggest thing that you need to do is the inner work. And I'm going to probably say this in all of my videos, but that is the truth. In the beginning, it's super important that you think about what do you want and what is it. And for me, it was at that point to become a self-made millionaire, and that was my goal, and that made me also set the goal of 100k months. For example, if your goal is to become a millionaire, you need to start thinking and doing things in a way that millionaire does those things. I won't lie, it takes time to really adapt those things and start thinking about in a way that the person that has already achieved those things would do, because I know that when you are not even close being a millionaire, it's really hard to actually think in a way that that kind of person would think. What you could do still is daily and wherever you're making decisions, start thinking about like, what would that person do that I want to become? Like, what kind of decisions would they do in this situation or that situation? Eventually you notice that, okay, well, I am that person. If you ask me, because I think this is interesting, I really liked hearing this type of tips from other entrepreneurs, like what was the main reason or thing that enabled me to double my income and actually 10x the results from the last year, from the past year, was definitely having really strong mindset shift in a way that I think about what's possible and what's not possible for me, and then just believing in that and having the faith when doing the work. Because I think the work itself, it's pretty simple, it's pretty like basic, it's not that special, but when you have done the mindset shift and you have the faith that, okay, well, if I do this, there's no option than like succeeding. Just keep on trying and finding and figuring out the ways that it's more effective and getting better results. If I just keep looking for the ways, like I'm going to find those ways, and there's no other options. Like you need to figure out your own mindset first before you can actually start seeing like these huge results. Like, of course, you can get some results without having the millionaire mindset, but if you want to play in the next level and in the bigger league, you need to really focus on the inner work and make that your priority. Have clear vision of the moment when you have achieved that bigger goal and think about it and remind yourself about that every single day. I have this mindset book that I read every single morning. Like still I do it today. I have now updated it and updated my new bigger goals in it, but I remind myself of that and wake up thinking about those goals and the bigger vision, because that's what keeps me going, because I know that it's not just today or this week or next month what matters, but it's the bigger vision. And if I just keep going, like there's no way that it's not going to happen, because when you have that consistency in whatever you do, you will succeed. Like there's no other option, because the only option to fail is if you like stop doing what you're doing. Focus on things that actually matter and make a difference. And what I call them is moving the needle tasks. So my previous mentor taught me this idea of listing things that would really move things in your business in a way that it would be like a massive change and that you're never going back to where you were before you achieved this one thing that actually moved the needle a lot. Have the time on your calendar to focus on those moving the needle things. So for example, last year I was really focused on reaching the 1 million in revenue. When we started to hitting the 100k months, that became a topic that I could post about. I could have articles written about me and my business that is making those 100k months. And in Finland, where I'm from, that was like a big thing. Like that was something that wasn't done by many people, and especially from a young woman like me. So it really moved things a lot when I reached that goal, and it also helped my business to move forward. That vision kept me going also when it was getting tough and harder, because like I'm not going to lie, there were some hard times and it was frustrating, and I needed to work a lot to make that happen. But also when you get the momentum from just doing the work, it really helped to keep going. So what would I say to you in order to double your income this year would be to have clear vision of the moment when you have achieved that bigger goal, and think about it and remind yourself about that every single day. I have this mindset book that I read every single morning. Like still I do it today. I have now updated it and updated my new bigger goals in it, but I remind myself of that and wake up thinking about those goals and the bigger vision, because that's what keeps me going, because I know that it's not just today or this week or next month what matters, but it's the bigger vision. When I talked with my friends and I talk with some potential clients, like the only thing usually stopping us is ourselves. We usually get stuck with the small stuff and small things. We are doing that for ourselves and stopping us from achieving our goals because there are some limiting beliefs that we have, that it's not possible, it's not us. Stop trying to be perfect, but just getting the damn thing done. And what I mean by that, because I have never been perfectionist, and I've been more like generous of how things should be done, and I've been pretty good at that. But I know that for so many women especially, it's hard to leave things unfinished or like not do them perfectly. But if you just lower your standards in some things, that how you need them to be done, it makes everything so much easier, and it's like taking the pressure away from having something done perfectly rather than having something just being done. This can be something that slows you down because you just are stuck on perfecting things that could be okay and could get the work done already. So many people are stuck with those little things, and then they worry and they don't see the change in their businesses in forever because they are just doing that little things that don't actually matter. You need to just have that goal in your mind, but then focus more on the daily actions. Every strategy and every goal, like, it doesn't matter, but what matters is the daily actions that you take in order to actually reach those goals. Focusing on those daily actions and habits that you create for yourself is so much more important in your day-to-day life. So now that you have the bigger vision, now that you have the goal, it's important to start thinking about broke the bigger goal of reaching the 100k months into smaller steps. So I had like these step-by-step goals, and the first one was to reach those 5 clients and get those 5 clients, and then I would worry only about them getting the results and then growing the sales even more and getting constantly at least 20,000 euros per month so that I could hire an employee. Like, that is my plan of action at that point. And I actually ended up getting almost 30 people to my first round of my beta program launch. So I exceeded my goal of 5 people, which was already like super good, because then I learned that, okay, well, this sales process actually works, and also that I'm able to get clients. Like, that is the hardest part, I would say. But when you get that right, like, everything is more simple after that. So focusing on one thing at a time. This sounds super basic, but so many times we see people wearing multiple hats and trying to do everything at the same time, multitasking and so on, but that doesn't work, and that is slowing you down from getting more things done. It can be also like this one small habit that keeps you distracted, that you just need to change in order to become more productive. We are using our precious time on our days to perfect the website, or writing that little Instagram story post, or something like that, that actually doesn't really make a bigger change in our lives, in our businesses. And that's something that you maybe, you should do, but you should still have those times in your calendar that you have blocked to try to get those moving the needle tasks moving forward. You need to be doing things in order to grow that business. So having those things in your calendar, scheduled and blocked those times when you are working on your business. For example, for me, I previously only used to-do lists, and those would have like really filled up fast, and I didn't get to check every box every day, and I felt actually really unproductive, because I always had this feeling, I was also talking about this on my social media, that I'm not doing enough, or like I'm not accomplishing the things that I want to accomplish in a day. But when I shifted from that to-do lists to scheduling everything on my calendar, now I see that, okay, I'm going to do that at that time, and then I'm going to do that on that time. And that actually made it so much easier for me to feel productive as well, because now I know that if something doesn't fit the calendar, like, I'm not going to do that day. So it's going to, like, my calendar is also more realistic, and I'm more realistic about the things that I can do, and also I'm better at prioritizing, because I know that those things need to be done, and those are like a bigger priority than some other things. Actively train yourself in sales. I have seen so many coaches and experts that are very willing to spend a lot of money to train themselves to the topic that they are experts about, and that is of course a good thing, but you are not going to do anything with that information if you don't know how to sell your products and your services. On focusing money-making activities. And what those money-making activities might look like to you can be different from what they are for me, for example, but focusing on those and doing them daily. For example, in the past year, when I was just a year ago doing almost everything in my business by myself, alone, I needed to do all those habits and all those things to make money in my business. And I had to do it in order to actually hire somebody to help me. So currently we have a team of over 10 people in my business, and now they are the ones doing the daily money-making activities, so that I don't actually need to do it every single day. If you don't have the opportunities to pitch your idea or pitch your offer, like, you're not going to make money. Money is super important, especially if you are a business owner, entrepreneur. You need to make money in that business in order to keep it going and to hire people, to get that freedom that you want. I know that there's a lot of, especially women, who are talking that, like, it doesn't matter, like, money doesn't matter, I'm just here to help people. But in order to help those people, you need the money. So I would definitely say that having those habits and daily habits to make money every single day is really important. I would really recommend you to also prioritize sales training and get yourself a coach. Try a coaching program. When you go to these programs, that you are not going there with skeptical mind, like, oh, I don't think it's going to work for me, let's see how it goes. Like, that's not going to help anyone, not you, not the coach or the mentor. Like, I've seen it also after working with hundreds of clients and after seeing really so many success stories, like, and what is the one thing in common with those people? They are really committed and they trust the process. And right after you stop trusting the process, you start trying things on your own, it's not certain that you will see results. Like, of course, it can be that you are going to see some results, but I've had this mindset that if I have never, like, for example, before I had built 7-figure business, like, I didn't know how to do it, and if somebody else has already done it, like, I should definitely trust that person, that they know what they do, and that if they say that they can help, like, I will get something out of that. And even if you didn't decide to start and commit to the strategy of the program in the future, you should definitely, at least the time and energy that you are going to be giving to that program, you should commit 100% that time and see, let's like just see how it works. Because if you don't give the your full energy, your full dedication, like, I think it's pointless to even spend time on joining any programs. Then, like, just try by yourself if you think that you can do it. But for me, like, those programs have been game changers. Like, I've looked for and found programs that have helped me in specific problems that I've had, to solve them, to like come up with new strategies when I've needed them. I'm the kind of person who believes in online coaching and all these programs because I've seen it in my own life. What I would say are the most common mistakes that entrepreneurs and business owners are doing so that they aren't reaching those 100K months. And the first thing is that these people are doing a lot of content, creating a lot of content to their social media channels, but they forget to sell. That was the time when I also started my first business. And I did that like really fast when I learned about entrepreneurship. Then it only took like a few months when I already had several clients. And how I got those clients was that I actually contacted them myself. Like, I just sent a message and asked for a meeting, and then I went to those meetings, and it was so nerve-wracking. Like, I was super nervous because I was like, oh, who am I trying to be? Like, I had this imposter syndrome that it's not just going to be possible that they would pay anything to me to help them. But I was still optimistic and just did it anyways, even though I was super scared. Like, I didn't like it at all to offer my services in those meetings, but I did. If you are creating this new need for your audience and you're not selling, they are going to go and look for somebody who is going to sell them what they need. Because in order to make a change, people need help in order to do that. Like, if you're going to change something in your business or in your life, like, you need help with that. Like, we all do. When you're creating content and showing the audience that, okay, you have this problem and here is how it's affecting your life, but you're not having the clear call to action in any of your content, it's going to let these people realize that they have the issue and the problem, but there's not going to be like a solution for them, or you're not going to be the one that they are going to go for in order to solve that problem. So people want their problems to be solved. They value health, wealth, happiness, their relationships, their freedom. If your offer solves problem related to those topics, you are good. And your offer is probably going to sell if you have the right sales process and the lead generation in place. My tip here is to have an offer that actually serves the human basic needs. And the other thing to remember, what really matters in sales, is that never make any assumptions of anyone, because anyone can actually become your ideal client and anyone could turn out to be a person that you could help. So never make assumptions where they live or what they are like, because you never know. But the thing is that if you're an entrepreneur, like, you need to feel salesy, like you need to feel that you're selling and pitching your offer. So the thing is that you need to be confident and comfortable with selling. And in your social media content, in all the platforms where you are right now, don't hesitate to put clear call to actions in the end of your posts. Like, it's okay to be salesy in that way, because you're an entrepreneur. Like, people know that you get your living out of your business by helping your clients, and you need to sell in order to get those clients and in order to make a living with your business. So if I wanted to multiply my monthly revenue, I needed to multiply also my prices. What I struggled with in the beginning was that I had multiple offers, but I wasn't still making money enough to pay myself even a decent salary. So the first couple of years when I wasn't able to do that, I did podcast, I did social media sponsorships, and I was doing all these type of things that maybe brought some little income streams to the business, but it wasn't enough to actually build a sustainably growing company. I decided to fully go and focus 100% on premium offers. And I created one, and I needed to validate that offer so that I would actually know that, okay, this is something that I can scale to those 100K months. So in the beginning, my plan was to get 5 paying clients, like nothing else. I only focused on getting 5 clients to that new premium offer. And then I already had the plan that when I get those 5 clients, my focus would be focusing on them getting results. So getting those 5 people really good results, so that I know that, okay, my offer and my program that I did works. And then the next goal was to keep on selling that and get at least 3 months in a row 20K in sales. After I would have done that, I would have been able to hire my first employee to help me with everything and to scale even beyond that. All of our sales for these low-priced online courses came through paid ads. So I wasted so much money on those ads, and I got clients. Like, I actually sold over 1,000 online courses in that time, but it wasn't enough for me to make a living out of my business. And it wasn't until I found my business being in a huge loss of over 7,000 euros when I realized that, okay, I need to change things or I'm not going to be able to continue this business and I need to go back to my 9-to-5 job. I just had this one little thing missing, which was how to make sales organically without those ads that I had spent a lot of money. But at that point, like, I didn't want to waste any more money on ads. Like, I know that they can work if you have the the resources for them. But at that point, I just wanted to learn how to make money without spending money on ads. Like, I really used some specific Google searches and looked for help for my specific needs in order to actually achieve those 100K months. In that way, I actually found a program which was able to give me the exact sales strategy that I needed, because I thought in that moment that I have so many things already in place, but the only thing that I need is the organic sales strategy. Like, that was actually the thing that I was looking for. So I wanted to do that organically without using paid ads, because I didn't have a lot of money in that point, and I had wasted so much on ads previously in the previous years, and I just now wanted to get there without spending money on ads. So I needed to find the right coaching program to teach me the organic sales methods. and I did the investment. It was so big. I paid it in with a payment plan, and I knew that I could pay the first 2 parts of the payment, but I didn't know how to pay the third part. So it really made me feel like I have to get this right so that I can pay the program. In the first 10 days, I was able to get my full investment back. It was 15,000 euros, and that's what I made in the first 10 days, and it was huge. The other mistake that I see entrepreneurs doing is that they are selling a lot, but they are not actually giving any value for their audience. What I mean with value is that you're actually giving people something that they can implement in their businesses. Because if you are just copy-pasting some inspirational or motivational quotes or sharing something that like everyone is doing on social media already, that is not value. What I would say that is valuable content is that if somebody can get some wins for themselves thanks to your content, even if they haven't become your client yet. So the thing is that you need to get these people to take action. You need to articulate the value that you bring to your ideal clients really clearly. Like you need to be really specific and make it sound something that is not hard to understand, using hard to understand language or like hard words that only you can know what they mean as an industry expert, because usually the more simple you can be and less words you can use to describe what you do is the better. This is an example of valuable content. A client of ours actually started her company thanks to my free content because she realized some things through it, and she really wanted to start a company, and she had already decided that she's going to come to me to get the help that she needed, but she had already taken some action steps even before becoming our clients, and that was all through my free social media content. So giving people these valuable action items to do even before they ever become your clients is the value that I mean by that you should be giving to people in your social media content. This is a tip to create a lot of valuable content, and don't be keeping anything with yourself, like give everything away that you know, because I think in this era of so many gurus and coaches giving their knowledge and selling courses and programs, it's super important to separate yourself from everyone and actually give the value and not just a fluffy things and nothing special. I'm never thinking that, oh, I don't want to share too much, but I actually want to be sharing too much so that you know that I care. I want you to win either way, and like I want people to get wins even if they don't become ever our clients, because that's the best way to get trust and build relationships and succeed in this industry. I really think that is the only way to succeed in this industry. So give the knowledge away and sell the implementation. And it's super important to have people in your life that really want to see you win and not the other way around, because that is one really easy way to get distracted and lose your productivity on the things that you need to be doing. Have expanders in your life. So what I mean by that is people that actually show you what is possible. And I have a concrete example of this in my own life. When I was writing my book, Side Hustle, that was published by one of the most well-known publishers in Finland, where I'm from, the thing was that I had 3 people near me, like close people to me, my friends and colleagues, who I saw writing and publishing their own books. So a thing that for most of the people seemed like so impossible, and they just dream about it, but they don't really see that happening for themselves. I got those 3 people as an examples in my own life. Wow, like this person, I know their background, I know what they have done to achieve that goal. That's why I also knew and believed in myself that well, maybe I should write a book and publish it with a publisher that is well known. So having those people around you is super important, and that's also one reason why I have tried to create a bubble type of thing around me where I'm surrounded by this like positivity, and also with people that have the mindset that I also want to have, and they have these big goals. When we see each other achieve our goals, it makes it so much easier, and also it makes it look like it's possible for you too. So I think it's super important who you surround yourself with, and if the people right now around you say things like that's not possible, don't do it, just quit what you're doing and everything like that, maybe you should consider spending less time with them. And it's important, especially if you are just starting out and you don't have the belief in yourself so strong, because for me, for example, I really don't even care anymore what others think, because I've reached that point where I have already done so much of those things that I used to think that it's not possible for me, and I've still achieved those things, that it has of course built my own beliefs that what is possible for me. One concrete tip also could be for entrepreneurs to join masterminds where there are other ambitious entrepreneurs, maybe in the same field or different fields where you are, because that's also one way that I have actually got my good friends, I could even say right now. I've been in this one mastermind for 3 years already, and we have seen each other build and grown our businesses and come up with challenges, but also overcome those challenges. So I think it's just amazing to have that kind of people around you when you're building something that not many people are building. Remember to celebrate my success along the way. That's something that my previous mentor taught me, that just remember to celebrate even the smallest wins that you have, because we usually forget that. And I would say that I could have celebrated more than I did, but still even in my mind, I celebrated those smallest wins, and I was so excited to every single client win that our clients got, or my own sales results that I got. I every time hyped and was happy about those, because those are the things that keep us going. There's always going to be struggles and the hard days, but if you find even one little thing to celebrate, it's going to be good for you and your mental state. Also blocking time for having fun, because that's something that my own business coach just reminded me about. Because if we want to build our lives around our businesses and like have this nice lifestyle, we need to do that already before we have achieved all the big great things in our businesses. So I definitely would say that there is this time for a real hustle mode where you just need to put in the work in order to actually build the business. And for me, because I was a mom of a toddler, I didn't really have that much time to have fun at some points, but I still made sure that I had vacations, that I was looking forward to having like these even smallest little fun things in my calendar to have some fun. Sometimes you need to say no to fun things when you just know that you need to put in the work. But right now, for example, my schedule is also filled with fun things and what I really want to do, and not just focusing directly on just work, because I've noticed that if you do that, it's not really sustainable, and you need to take breaks so that you can actually succeed in long term as well.